Hello and thanks for joining me for the Midday News. Sponsors Night of the World Indigenous Business Forum to be held in Port Moresby this October commenced on Wednesday in Port Moresby. Hosted by the Ministry of International Trade and Investment, Acting Secretary Warakai Manua said the forum will bring Papua New Guineans attention to the development of indigenous business around the world. Acting Secretary Manua said it is an important event for Papua New Guinea as it provides a great platform to connect and discuss international business opportunities that will boost the SME sector of PNG.
It gives us that opportunity for our small SMEs and micro SMEs to connect with other indigenous businesses. And those coming from other countries are a little bit bigger than ours. And because they are a little bit bigger than ours, this is an opportunity for our SMEs and micro SMEs to share experiences, ideas, connect, and at the same time establish network and create that connection, either at people-to-people connectivity or through institutions.
Prime Minister James Marape has called out to Papua New Guineans to be proactive in using land resources. He said laziness is a factor of the high unemployment rate and law and order issues. Marape made his comment at the Sponsors Night of the World Indigenous Business Forum Wednesday evening.
For PNG to match and survive in modern world today, we no longer must be a subsistence economy. We no longer also must dwell in a subsistence and cash economy. In a very, very big way, at the very earliest, we must leapfrog into the cash economy, utilizing assets we already have. Talk about assets, what do we have? I'm amazed with laziness of Papua New Guineans. Pure laziness of Papua New Guineans. Sometimes I feel like just giving up this job and run away. For you already have one of the best assets any citizen on planet Earth can have. Land you already have.
Mission Aviation Fellowship Technologies have moved their pilots to Balimo in Western Province after installing reliable solar power systems for their new homes. MAF is known to provide technological services in the most rural communities of PNG. With 4 years of the first plans were laid, MAF also installed the HF radio system. General Manager Brian Matthews said that 2 MAF pilots and their young families settled in Balimo. Their stay will strengthen the MAF-SDP partnership and will considerably streamline aviation services. This will ensure consistent support for SDP's expanding education, agribusiness and health projects. MAF pilot Joel Romingas said, operating from Balimo rather than making the long journey from Mount Hagen will boost MAF's ability to fly SDP's 10 health patrol teams to around 50 airstrip communities. The International Labour Organization, as part of the EU Straight PNG program, organized intensive training to enhance project management skills in Papua New Guinea's transport infrastructure sector. Government officials and private contractors attended the program, aimed at improving efficiency and quality in infrastructure project management. Key highlights include the use of software like Primavera and Microsoft projects for scheduling and planning, empowering participants in project efficiency, data-driven decision-making, timely project delivery, resource optimization, and fostering collaboration among stakeholders. The training held in WeWork witnessed positive feedback from participants, emphasizing its practical value.
It's worthwhile to attend this training this 1 week. For most of us, we are used to projecting the project up on the board and then we just run through it, not using the software or any other programs. We are used to Excel and some other, especially Excel. But to go into Microsoft project and Primavera, it's an eye-opener. And I believe in our next couple of projects, we should use those applications, draw up our project schedule, and to make sure that we manage project within time and budget.
In regional news, the west of Libya, Morocco, is continuing to deal with the aftermath of Friday's powerful earthquake. Stories are emerging from some of the more remote villages. Many survivors have had to rescue loved ones or retrieve bodies from the ruby without any assistance. Around 3,000 people are now confirmed dead.
This small village, Tekhat, every single house has been destroyed and every family has lost someone in the quake.
I have never imagined like this will happen to my village. Everything is gone. There is no house anymore. Some of us lost their parents and some lost their wives. And I have never thought that one day I will lose my mom and my sister. So, my sister, she wasn't just my sister. She was my everything. She was close to me. I can't believe right now, I'm shocked. I can't believe that I lost everything. How can I get started again?
More than a quarter of the people who lived here have perished, buried together in mass graves.
My mum and my sister are dead, so I'm here with my grandfather.
Despite this village being completely demolished, there is no humanitarian aid here. There's no running water, no food, no electricity, no sanitation. And there are children here who have lost both their parents. They're now orphans. No one has come here to help them figure out their future.
This woman was pulled from the debris and 3 members of her family died. She pleads for help.
We want the authorities and the king to help us. We need a house first to live in. If tomorrow the rain comes, where will we hide? Nowhere. Or where will we hide for the winter? It's all gone.
Numerous villagers are facing the same perilous situation. Even thinking about the future seems an impossible task.
We're still alive, but we're dead. As you can see, everyone here, we can't live anymore. Even if you want to live, we can't.
When everything is gone, where do they begin?
The International Atomic Energy Agency's first independent sampling and analysis of wastewater near the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear water station, since discharges of ALPS treated water started on 24th August, confirms that the strontium levels are below Japan's operational limit. Agency staff present at the IAEA's office at the site sampled seawater from several locations within 3 kilometers from the site, at sea and from the coast. The agency's independent sampling and measurement of the seawater from the coast shows consistency with the value reported by Tokyo Electrical Power Company, operated of FDPNPS, as well as Ministry of Environment of Japan. TEPCO reports daily public results of its website showing that the tritium activity concentrated in the sea falls below its operational limit. That is, the limit set for operation of the ALPS discharge process that must not be exceeded. The agency is continuing its analysis of all the seawater samples. Qantas have issued a first-ever apology to workers after the High Court found the airline illegally sacked 1,700 ground crew during the pandemic. Former boss Alan Joyce is facing fresh calls for hand back his bonus as the crisis-plagued airline faces a huge compensation payout and massive legal fees.
A victory in the highest court for sacked Qantas workers.
Together, we stand strong. I don't know if anybody else is getting castle vibes here, but this really is a brilliant vibe, isn't it? You know, to have a win. Fairy tales come through.
The ground staff workers and their union took the airline to court, alleging it outsourced 1,700 jobs 3 years ago to avoid industrial action. They won their case twice, then Qantas appealed.
Today, 1,700 Qantas families have had a massive victory in the highest court in the land.
The airline's boss, Alan Joyce, has already stood down early after the consumer watchdog lodged action alleging that Qantas sold tickets to cancelled flights. There are now fresh calls for Joyce to hand back his $24 million bonus and for tighter rules to stop outsourcing.
I say to the workers who were illegally sacked, you did nothing wrong. Qantas broke the law.
Despite the ruling, the sacked workers like Don Dixon won't get their jobs back.
We were forced out the door. We had no choice. So, you know, it wasn't like Mr. Joyce walking out the door with $24+ million.
Qantas will have to pay the workers compensation, which could be upwards of $100 million.
On the evidence before the court, Qantas have saved $180 million in the first year by the outsourcing.
Qantas says that it sacked the baggage handlers and cleaners to save cash during the pandemic and that it always felt for their plight. But it was only today that it issued its first public apology to them.
All you Qantas workers at home, we beat them. Go and enjoy it. Thank you.
A victory against corporate Australia.
In regional sports, the OFC Under-16 Women's Championship kicks off at State Bita in Papete when the Solomon Islands takes on Tonga in the opening Group B fixture, followed by host Tahiti against New Caledonia. For Solomon Islands defender Primos Maetoloa, it's her second taste of international competition, having played for her country at the OFC Under-19 Women's Championship in Fiji in June and July. For a chance to make the Under-17 World Cup, Solomon Islands will have to finish among the top 2 teams in Group A. The second match today features the 2 French-speaking teams. New Caledonia host Tahiti. Tahiti coach Xavier Samin expressed his confidence earlier this week of a strong showing in the tournament, playing on home soil.
Déjà, c'est un honneur d'accueillir ce tournoi-là chez nous et en plus représenter notre Fénois. Et pour moi, c'est un honneur aussi d'amener ces filles-là et d'essayer de faire un résultat chez nous, sans trop se mettre la pression aussi. Donc, c'est vraiment un honneur pour nous et pour les filles de recevoir ce tournoi-là chez nous. On se sent prêtes. Enfin, quand je dis prêtes, les filles se sont prêtes. Bon, on s'est préparé comme on pouvait avec les installations qu'on nous mettait à disposition. Donc les filles sont prêtes et en plus le premier match c'est contre Calédonie. Donc Tahiti-Calédonie, ça a toujours été des matchs, voilà, des derbies quoi. Donc on est vraiment excités et hâte de faire notre premier match.
Thanks for watching. Join us at 6 tonight for more.